Hey everybody, welcome to Live at 5. It is Monday, February 12th, and I am Ryan Lee Gilbert.
And I'm Paul Wontorek.
And we are joined here in the studio by Matt Roden.
Hey, that's me.
And we have an amazing guest today.
We do.
Who's here?
Cory Jeacoma from Jersey
Jersey
Boys.
Boys, off Broadway. Yep,
Yes.
yep.
He loves you.
Excited. You're going to talk to him?
I am. I'm going to
Okay.
chat with him for a little bit. But
But
first,
first, we have some
news. Matt, what is the top 5?
Big news to kick off the day. Betty Buckley is leading the national tour of Hello, Dolly.
Yay!
big
We
stuff.
love Betty
do.
Buckley. I'm so excited for this.
I know you are.
I mean,
Yeah.
Hello, Dolly. This is, this production. Obviously now we have Bernadette Peters on Broadway.
Right.
Bette Midler was started it,
Donna
obviously won a
Murphy.
Tony Award. And we've been wondering what would happen with the national tour.
Yeah, it was big. It
because
was the big. Who was going to do it?
They
You
need a
star.
good name to anchor it, and they got another theater icon, Betty Buckley, who of course won a Tony Award for playing Grisabella.
She did.
My favorite, Norma Desmond, an
Absolutely.
amazing Norma Desmond
Yeah.
in Sunset Boulevard. This is launching October 2nd at the Connor Palace,
Cleveland.
at
Yeah.
Cleveland's Playhouse Square. So there's going to be a lot of. They got to pull the rest
going
of the
everywhere.
cast together. This is exciting.
I
But
mean,
it's gonna-
this is all we know, and it's going all over the place. Yeah,
I can't
lots
wait
of,
to see this.
This is going to be amazing.
I wonder if
can't wait
I
to.
feel like maybe she should do it for like a week on Broadway first. I don't know.
Oh, that would be
Just throwing
great.
out that idea.
Yeah,
Just throwing it out.
take that do with it what you will.
We also found out today that The Secret Garden is coming back to Broadway for the first time, right?
It is the first ever Broadway revival of The Secret Garden. This is a beloved show among
Come
theater
to my
people.
garden,
yes, people
Ryan.
love The Secret Garden. This is a production of this has been moving around. It did like DC's Shakespeare
Is
Theater.
this the same production?
Well, no. So that production was directed by
There've been a
David
lot of-
Armstrong, and
Okay.
then it went and did the Fifth Avenue Theater in
Yes.
Seattle. But now this production is going to be choreographed, directed, and reconceived by Warren Carlyle,
Who we love.
We love for a new generation. Secret
Who is the
Garden.
choreographer of Hello, Dolly? But he also
Yes.
directed and choreographed Chaplin. which
And
was
won for
amazing.
After Midnight. He won his
Yes,
Tony
he's
for
done
that.
other
Yeah, he's
things.
done
He won
tons of
Tonys,
things.
Yes, but I love Chaplin.
Right. And so it's an all new production for a new generation. It's coming next season. So we don't get to see it's not this season. It's
Oh.
coming next season.
Like in the fall? Or we don't even know?
we don't even know. Dates we
don't
don't know. Cast we don't know. Theater we don't know, but super exciting.
Okay,
I
when-
love this show.
When they did that concert last
yes,
year.
when Daisy Egan played Martha.
But Sierra Boggess and Ramin
Yep.
Karimloo sang, oh my God.
it was amazing.
That'd
So
be good casting.
Yes. I mean, great people have been a part of this.
Yeah,
so
it's
there's
an amazing
lots
score.
of
Lucy Simon.
Oh,
Exciting.
Marsha Norman's book, Tony winner.
Both women.
Both women. That's right.
We
Girl
love that.
power.
We love that.
It's a perfect show.
A little bit of sad news. 5-time Tony nominee Jan Maxwell passed away last night.
This was horrible news. This is like a horrible weekend news. Everyone yesterday on social
Devastating.
media was on my Facebook. There were so many stories about Jan Maxwell. I feel like everybody has worked with her.
Yeah.
She's done so in the 26 or so years that I've been doing this. Jan Maxwell has been such a regular presence in the theater community.
And on the red
5-time
carpet.
Tony nominee. Yeah, we've had many red carpet moments with her. She died after a battle with cancer. She's 61 years old. Remember she got nominated twice one year?
Yes,
That was crazy.
she got 2 nominations.
Yeah,
in the
for
same
the Royal
year
Family and Lend Me a Tenor.
Right.
One was leading and one was featured. And then, of course, she was nominated for Coram Boy, Follies, which she just did with Bernadette
so
Peters
amazing.
and Danny Burstein. Amazing performance as Phyllis. And I loved her in Shitty Shitty Bang Bang. That was
that was
hilarious performance.
And I loved her recently off Broadway, the City of Conversation. I think she did that. Was incredible.
I mean, she did so many amazing things. Our condolences are to her family.
Will be missed.
Just horrible news.
Legend of George McBride, play that was off Broadway, I think, for a while, is coming to the big screen, and Jim Parsons is taking on the lead role.
Yeah, we are very, very excited about this. I saw this off Broadway. I loved it. It follows this Elvis impersonator named Casey. He's down on his luck. He's got a baby on the way. He lives in this like little rundown town in Florida, and the bar that he works in is being taken over. The show, instead of it being an Elvis show, is going to be a drag show. So he takes lessons. So Casey is not going to be played by Jim Parsons. He's going to be playing a character by the name of It's Miss Tracy Mills, and it's a veteran drag queen, and she shows Casey the ropes on how to be a great drag queen. Matthew Lopez, who wrote the play, he's also adapting it for the film version. We don't know anything else. We don't know a director, but Fox is taking care of the movie, and this sounds amazing.
Are you watching Drag Race?
I am not. No, I've actually never seen a season of Drag Race.
Can't deal with that.
I know.
Sneak
I'm sorry.
peek, Alexis Michelle's coming later this week.
That's right.
Just saying.
That's
what
right.
else we got, Matt?
Last but not least, we have some very special Valentines now available on our website.
So when you were a kid, did you do that in school?
Oh yeah, where you make a Valentine for
do
everybody.
kids still do that, or is it too
I
much
think
pressure
so.
now?
No, I think I remember Beth helping
You like
her
go in
kids
and you buy
with-
them at CVS, and then you like.
And then you would dress one to everybody,
Well,
and then
look
but
at
you write a
this.
special thing in the.
we
kid
got
that you
some
really-
Broadway themed cards.
They're adorable.
Our
Ryan
fantastically
Casey.
talented illustrator Ryan Casey made these just for you.
Yeah.
These is a sampling. There are others too. This is an amazing Jen Colella card that
Come
says,
From Away.
"I love you like Beverly Bass loves airplanes."
Mm-hmm.
Adorable. Who's this guy?
That is Ari Satchel from the band's visit.
Yeah.
Ryan, you're blushing.
Do you like Chet Baker? And look,
I
you print-
was.
Look, you can print them out. Look at that. You can like fill them out, print them out. And this one, I didn't know what it meant
Neither
until we
did I.
went live.
We just found out. Cory Jeacoma helped us figure out.
You're the GOAT, which means.
Greatest of all time.
So get that, kids. Print out your cards and give them to someone special.
They're super great. Yes.
And on that note, I'm out of here. I got to go print my cards
Paul,
out.
thank you so much. Matthew,
you.
Matt, why don't you tell us a little bit about our guests?
Oh, Matthew. Oh, my God. Not a lot of people call me that. All right, so Cory Jeacoma was born on Long Island and subsequently moved with his family to Florida at a very young age. He eventually made his way back to New York to attend Pace University, and shortly after graduating, hopped on the Jersey Boys national tour. He's now starring as Bob Gaudio in the off-Broadway production of Jersey Boys, currently running at New World Stages. I don't know. I worked with him at 54 Below. That's how I met Cory Jeacoma. And if you're watching live and you have questions for Cory, leave them in the comments below. We're going to read as many as we possibly can. And now, here's... I was trying to think of a longer name for Ryan, but I couldn't think of like a longer version name. Ryan and, of course, Cory Jeacoma.
Welcome, Cory. Thank you
you.
so much for joining us.
Happy to be here.
What's that accent? Bob Gaudio.
Bob Gaudio.
Yeah, I was gonna say you ought to come on stage with us tonight.
Yeah.
How are you doing, sir? It's
I'm
so good to
so
see
well.
you.
Good to see you.
How are things over at New World Stages, Jersey Boys,
It's a
off Broadway?
blast. It is a blast. That facility is incredible. I've been there a few times to see shows, but it's a community. It's like a little theater family.
I love
you
that
know?
theater.
We all get out of the shows at the same time, and we're like, hey, Avenue Q Cast, what's
Right.
going on? You know, Bubbles and all that stuff.
Right. So you've been here. You've been doing this off Broadway since it opened, but
Yeah.
you were in the Jersey Boys national tour before being part of this production,
Correct.
right?
Yeah.
So how did you tell us a little bit about how your Jersey Boys journey began?
Oh man, I was doing some regional theater. I graduated from college May of 2016
Pace University.
from Pace University, great
Right.
school. And I graduated and went and did Footloose at the Fulton Theater, and was then going to do Mamma Mia at Main State Music
Right,
Theater.
that's right.
And in the middle of Footloose, I got an audition for Jersey Boys. Bob Gaudio was a dream role of mine.
Yeah,
and Jersey
I think
Boys.
I think I saw a great story where you took your mom
Yes.
to see Jersey Boys,
Yeah.
and when Bob Gaudio came out, you said,
Yeah.
"That right there,
Hi, Mom. Hi.
That's my dream role."
Yeah,
right
it was
there."
cool. She came and for the holidays, and I took her to see Jersey Boys because it was a favorite of mine. And I
Right.
elbowed her when Bob Gaudio comes out, and I was like, "That's my dream role, Mom."
That's
And
awesome.
Sure enough,
Playing
a
your
year
dream
later, I was
role.
playing it. But yeah, then in the middle of Footloose at the Fulton Theater, I got an audition and repeated auditions and callbacks and all that sort of stuff. And then
Yeah.
when I was at Main State, I rented a car and drove into the city and got 2 parking tickets.
Wow.
And,
So it's been a labor of love. Getting
and then I got to pay them off because of the Jersey Boys tour.
Look at
It
that.
was great.
Well done, well done. And what is it? What about Bob Gaudio makes him a dream role for you? Is it the music? Is it the story? I mean, he's the brains. I feel like behind.
Thank
he's,
you.
He's the genius behind a lot of their
Yeah.
huge hits. Yeah.
You know, Bob Gaudio, and as a person, I was fortunate enough to meet him a few months ago when we were opening this production, and he is just the coolest guy, the sweetest guy. He's earnest, he's wise, way beyond his years when he was younger, and probably still. And there's something about him that is always thinking the next step. He's always thinking, all right, here I am now. Now what can I do to take the next step forward? And that's something that I like to think that I bring to the table is, always thinking about, forward momentum and thinking about what's next. He's just a sweetheart. And in the show, he starts off at 17 and you see him grow to a young adult, well, to a full-fledged adult. And throughout that, he doesn't lose himself. And that's something that I admire in him. And something that I think that performers in general should strive for.
Absolutely, absolutely. Speaking of 17, you does the cast give you a little bit of ribbing for you were the youngest member of your cast, right? You're the youngest.
They will not let me forget this. I bet you they're watching right now and they're going to bring it up when I get to the dressing room.
There's our baby.
Yeah, we like to say it's like initiation. On tour they did it, and they're all the sweetest.
So you've been working with a lot of these same guys for a while, right?
Yeah,
so have you become your own little unit, your own little family?
Absolutely. It's cool. They brought a lot of people from the tour to open this production. And even the people that didn't move with this to this production, we all keep in contact, and we're all, they're still busting my chops.
Yeah, I hope so.
That's what it's all about.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're from, or you grew up in Florida,
Correct.
right? So how you enjoy living in New York City? You've been here. You went here to college here. So you like the city? You like living here?
I love it. I mean,
you don't miss the warmth?
I do. That's the
I'm
hardest
going to
part.
Florida next week, and
well, then get out of here.
Wait.
I mean, there's something about New York that it just lives and breathes like energy and just good juju. And I spent some time touring the country, and even big cities like LA couldn't steal my heart from New York. There's something, it's just got a hold of me.
Right. But you were born on Long Island. Is that so? You came home.
There's something in my blood. Exactly. Yeah.
What do you like to do? What do you like to do when you're not at work, when you're not performing? How do you? I see that I stalked your Instagram a little bit, just some research. You do see a lot of shows. You see a lot of theater. So is that your?
I am such a theater nerd. Like I think that more than I care to admit, or more than I talk about, I am.
You're free to talk about how much.
As you guys were talking about Betty Buckley going on tour, I was like,
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, like I love seeing shows. I'm a singer-songwriter, so I like just like chilling, playing guitar, and writing songs, much like Matt Roden over there.
Yeah.
I like going to the gym and all that stuff.
Sure. Yeah, I can't relate, but sure. Yeah, that sounds great.
Nothing wrong with that. Yeah, but I like taking my days off and enjoying them and spending them with my girlfriend or my friends and just like taking time.
Right. What was your very first Broadway show? Was it Jersey
that I
Boys?
ever saw?
Yeah.
I mean, my first show that I remember seeing was actually Legally Blonde.
Oh,
and
great.
What could be better?
What could? Thank you. Exactly.
Great choice.
Yeah. And the moment I saw it, I was like, this is so cool. And Legally Blonde of all shows, that sparked that passion for me.
Right.
But when I was younger, when I was probably like 3 or 4, I saw Beauty and the Beast.
Okay.
But I don't remember anything.
Sure,
of it.
yeah.
But yeah, Legally Blonde's the first show that I remember seeing. And then from there, Once was, Steve Kazie's performance in Once was the show that like
coming back
hooked me.
With
Yeah,
Pretty
he's
Woman.
coming back. Oh, I can't wait, man.
We're excited as
Yeah.
well. Yeah. So I want to take some questions from some fans that I'm sure are watching. But you also you've kind of done everything in theater, because you've done workshops. You worked on. I know you worked with Pasek and Paul on a workshop. You did the dogfight workshop.
Yeah.
You worked at 54 Below.
I
with
sure
Mr. Matt
did.
Roden.
Bartend, busser, a little bit of everything.
So are you a big believer in paying those kind of dues, or did you just want to be immersed in the theater all the time?
In terms of just working, period, my parents always taught me the value of $1. So
Sure,
I was always working and paying off student loans and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, in terms of like being in the theater, everyone's always like, do you want to get in TV and film or commercials or this? And I'm like, I just want to work. I just love this industry so much, and just like, I want to get my hands dirty kind of thing.
Yeah. I mean, you're playing your dream role.
Exactly.
Fulfilling the dream. What's your favorite song to sing as Bob Gaudio?
I would have to say Cry for Me, and it's the first song I sing, so it takes like 25 to 30 minutes for my character to enter, and then when I finally do, he's got like his audition song for the group, and he sets the music down and he sits at the piano and he starts playing Cry for Me, and then slowly Frankie comes over and joins him, then Nick, the bass player, comes in and joins him, and then, not to spoil it, but then finally, reluctantly, Tommy DeVito comes in and joins, and it's the first time you hear the Four Seasons sound. Coming from the stage, because the rest of the show before that is all covers that they did sort of to work their way up to superstardom.
Right.
And he wrote it when he was 15 years old. Bob Gaudio did, And it's like this revenge love song that is way beyond the years of a 15-year-old's writing. It's saying like, I cried for you and now cry for me. And it's wild that he wrote it at 15.
No, I didn't know that is wild. And then he wrote Ragdoll after a little girl like washed his car.
Yeah.
And he had like only $10 or something like that.
Yeah, he like looked out his window. He was like crossing over from the west side to the east side.
Right, in Hell's Kitchen.
Yeah, a little girl came and wiped his window, and he only had a $10 bill, and he gave it to her, and he said her eyes lit up, and there was this beauty to her that he had to write something.
Yeah.
And you know, it's in the show, so come check it out.
Well, you can tell that it's your dream role because you light up when you're talking. That's awesome. What do the viewers want to know, Matt? What are the viewers
so many
asking?
things. So many things. Okay, actually a lot of good stuff. Jake wants to know, how does this production differ from the tour production?
Yeah.
Good question.
So really, I mean, the 4 seasons, not much has changed for us, but the ensemble is working their butts off. They're playing a bunch more characters than they played before, so it's a little bit smaller.
Tighter cast.
Yeah, tighter cast. The foot traffic backstage is the biggest difference for us. It's a little bit smaller of a set because it fits in a smaller space, but it still has the bridge, it still has the spiral staircase, all that good stuff. Little things, mechanically that have changed that the audience honestly doesn't notice.
I'm sure.
We have people who've seen the show upwards of 200 times, and they're like, it's the same. It's Jersey Boys, and I love it still.
It's a perfect show. I mean, it really is. Like, I don't think you can say that about every show, but Jersey Boys is just a perfect show.
I agree.
And there's a bar there.
There's a bar. Oh, and people love that bar.
Jake had a follow-up question. Yeah. How does your experience playing it differ?
Oh, I love this question, Jake. Thank you. It's what I was telling you before. It's a little bit more intimate of a production, so we got to eat up the book a little bit more. Marshall Brickman and Rick Ellis wrote an incredible book to this jukebox musical, and it doesn't even seem like a jukebox musical because the book is so brilliant. So we got to eat up the text a little bit, and it's a little bit more like an episode of The Sopranos with the 4 seasons music laid over it. It's awesome.
And do you still find new things in Bob Gaudio when you're like playing him? I do. And that's the best part. That's what I love about theater is that you have to do it eight shows a week, and somehow you have to find something new to make it authentic interesting
for
you,
each other.
while also totally.
Absolutely.
Alec wants to know, do you have a favorite 4 seasons song?
Oh man.
We just got a nice rundown.
Not just because I sing "Cry for Me," but that is one of my favorite songs. I would also have to say, oh man, there's so many songs. Oh, What a Night's a fun one.
Beggin'. Beggin' is a jam.
Beggin's the jam. It really is. And so many people have covered it, and it's a jam.
It really
is.
Yeah, it's like just a,
we can
keep talking about Beggin'.
Caitlin wants to know, which other group would you love to see a bio musical about?
Ooh, this is the hot thing right now. I mean,
we know.
There's the Cher musical. We got Donna Summer.
Jagged Little Pill.
The Go-Go's.
Jimmy Buffett.
Everything. That's right. Jimmy Buffett. Margaritaville.
And there was a Hall & Oates musical in the works. I mean,
I'm ready for that.
Dude, me too.
All sorts of. I know that there's like a Frank Sinatra one. And the Temptations. Ain't Too Proud.
I'm gonna stop you right there. Frank Sinatra. Crooning all day like that. That's what he kind of like taught me how to sing, to be honest.
Oh really?
Not him himself, but
right. Yeah.
but
Sessions with Francis.
That's gonna be incredible. I also would love like in many years like a John Mayer musical. I think his music would be so easily adapted to the stage because he's such a brilliant lyricist.
He is.
Yeah, I think that would be great.
And he's got quite the interesting personal stories.
Exactly. That he does. I think it would be very entertaining.
Warts and all, that production.
Joanne wants to know, well, Joanne said, Jersey Boys is one of my all-time favorite shows. Did you get to see the original cast, or is there any former cast member that inspired your performance?
Ooh, I wish that I got to see the original cast. I did not. But Quinn Van Antwerp, who played Bob for many years. He is a phenomenal actor, phenomenal musician, and his rendition of Bob Gaudio was phenomenal. And he's the Bob that I saw the most. And there was something about him that he was the guy that I leaned over and bumped my mom and was like, "That's my dream role."
Okay,
he
so
sort of
was
solidified.
The foundational Bob for you.
Absolutely. I mean, all the guys, Christian Hoff, like everyone who's been in the show before, and it's had Andy Carl and Richard H. Blake.
I mean, some of the
guys that I idolized
guys
growing up. Yeah.
Totally.
So doing the show with those roles and with the role that I'm playing now, it's a dream period.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Zuri wants to know, and this is a tough one, what's your favorite Broadway show?
Ooh, boy.
I'll go ahead and say, I'm
how
going to go
long
ahead
do
and
we
say
have? I was
musical.
Say, this is one of those.
Yeah,
yeah. Let's
musical.
keep it to.
Well,
yeah.
does it have to be Broadway?
That's why I'm saying it's just a
Oh.
musical.
Okay, because I love The Lion, Benjamin Scheuer's The Lion.
Oh,
It
wow, great choice.
It was
Yeah.
truly the most phenomenal theatrical
Yeah.
experience I've ever had. The most honest storytelling I've ever seen. And it's just a guy with his guitar telling his
but
own.
it's
Did you get the
I
chance to
did.
see it?
It's incredible.
I
yeah.
saw it 3 times, wept like a baby every
It's
single
so
time.
good. Great choice.
Incredible.
Out of
Yeah.
the box.
I would say
Yeah.
that.
Joanne, if you could play any other famous musician, past or present, in a musical, who would it be? I think I know the answer.
Yeah, either Frank Sinatra or Dean Martin. One of the two. You know, they're just the coolest.
Yeah.
The Rat Pack, having that. I've always, my friend group, we always, like, I feel like we are the Rat Pack. We just, like, you know, bust each other's chops and we sing and we make fools of ourselves.
Right.
And that's the dynamic that they had. So I would love.
Well, if you can sit there once, point to a character, and say that's my dream role,
Yeah.
you know what, Corey? I bet
you
it
can
can
do it.
happen
man.
for you again.
Since
Let's
it's
hope so.
Valentine's Day week.
Yes, you were
Since
here
it's-
during a special week.
It's a special week, so we're actually adding a segment to the show.
Oh, boy.
Called the Live at 5 Love Quiz.
Yeah.
Yes, we have a love quiz here at Live at 5. And so we're going to ask you simple questions, but, you know, be honest with us.
I'm ready.
Who was your first crush?
Oh man, I would have to say, what's her name from Topanga?
Topanga from Boy Meets World.
Oh
Okay.
my God!
Yeah.
Ooh,
Great choice.
Corey loved her.
Which
He
Corey?
did, yeah. I was going to say
Little Corey,
both
little
Corys.
Corey.
Both
Both
Corys
Corys love it.
loved
Yeah, both
Topanga.
Corys do.
All right, great choice. Your first kiss.
Oh, my first kiss was with Lauren Iacobelli from Florida. No joke. Lauren Iacobelli from Florida. She was my first girlfriend. It was at my bar mitzvah. Oh. My 13-year-old birthday.
Special day.
Yeah, it was a special day. I became a man.
You became a man.
Look at that. I hope you're watching, Lauren.
Hi, Lauren.
Who is your dream date?
Oh, dream date, my girlfriend, Bethany Tessark.
yeah.
She's
How long have you been together?
2 years now.
Oh,
and
congratulations.
she is way cooler than I am. And just like, she's awesome in every way.
Well,
yeah, I hope
dream
she's
date.
watching.
I'm
Hi,
sure
babe.
she is. Who is your, and I hope she's okay, who is your celebrity crush?
Oh, man. Right now? Oh, man. Who is it right now? I love Sofia Vergara.
Oh, my
Love Sofia Vergara.
Yeah. I'm such a
Oh,
big
man.
defender of Modern Family. It's still so good.
It's so good.
It's still so good. It
It's
doesn't get
defeated
any
the test
the
of time.
It
Yep,
has. They
keeps
keep it
up with
sharp. I love it.
They do.
Yeah. And what is your breakup treat yourself ritual? So you've broken up. You need to rediscover your inner Corey.
Yeah.
How do you do that? What's your...
I write a lot. Write a lot of music.
Okay.
Just like the sad songwriter, like.
Hence wanting the John
Yeah,
Mayer.
exactly. Music is huge for me. Just listening to music, and
Yeah.
I also eat. Oh, I binge eat.
There we go.
Yep.
That's the
Yep.
Ryan Lee
Just-
Gilbert ritual.
I feel like that's most people's rituals.
Well, thank you, Corey, so much
you.
for joining us. Is there anything else you want to say to the Jersey Boy fans out there?
Yeah.
Or the not yet Jersey Boy fans?
Well, if you're not a fan yet, come, and I promise you will be. And if you've seen the show a million times, see it again. It is phenomenal. This cast that we have is incredible. And we're having a blast over there at New World Stages, so come check it out.
Right. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Matt, why don't you take us out?
I'd be happy to. Thank you so much for tuning in. Corey, thank you for being here. You can watch us live every single weekday, live at 5 p.m. on Broadway.com's Facebook page. And if you're a fan of podcasts and you want a different way to consume this show, maybe you're listening to it right now, you can subscribe to Live at 5 wherever you get your podcasts. Join us tomorrow when Justin Vivian Bond stops by the studio. Happy Monday, everybody. Have a good one. Bye.